Good morning. Welcome to RLTW Strategies. Today is Wednesday the 29th, and let me tell you, Friday, I was up so much on my Apex PA account. I think we were up like $6,000, and Friday came around and I wasn't going to trade. I traded in the morning and I recorded those trades and I was up $200. And then I started losing, and I tried to make it back because I wanted to finish the week with like a couple $100. I was really shooting for 500, and that got me. I ended up losing about $3,000 that day. And then I went through the weekend, Memorial weekend. I didn't trade Monday, and then Tuesday came and I did another $3,000 loss and lost my account. So my Apex account is closed. I went ahead and went on tilt, and I reset a combine with top step 150K, hit max loss. That one's still active. And then I reset another combine, traded that, and was up $3,100 on a move. I went in with 5 contracts. I think I have that recorded. I'm not sure. So then this morning, we had very minimal news. Nvidia spiked up. I was watching the Mag 7. I did my charting in the pre-session, and I traded that. I traded the morning session, the morning pop, and I got that recorded. 5 contracts on 3 150K combines, and we closed those out with $2,100 in profit today. So I stopped trading those, and then I did the top step special, $29 for 150K, and if you use the promo code 5 funded accounts, all one word, I went ahead and bought 5 50K combines, and I traded those on a copy trade with 1 contract sizes each, and we're up $300 on those. And I'm going to stop today. So 5 combines, 50Ks, up $300, and up $2,100 times 3 combines, 150Ks that I copy traded this morning. And that was about it. I'll go ahead and go over the video. I'll do some voiceovers of why I entered the trade. I traded all morning with no distractions. I had music on. I didn't trade with Market Clubhouse. I didn't trade with Top Step TV. I just focused on the charts. And with that, I was trading off of the 30-minute on the ES and the 30-minute on the NQ. And that's all I did. And I did my levels on the daily 4-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour, all the way down to intermediate levels. I had my consolidation zone. I had my inefficiency zones that we didn't hit because we just started climbing. But the time is, what is it? Almost 11 o'clock in the morning, and I think we're about to roll over. That's my assessment. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get to the video, and I'll see you guys later. If you want to follow me on my Discord, it's Mike175. You can search that up, and I'll pull you into a RLTW Strategies NASDAQ chatting channel. And I share my levels and all that. And then that's it. I'll see you guys in the video. Hit the like button. Subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good trading day, and be patient, be disciplined, be patient, man, and try not to look at your P&L. That will get you every time. And I have the whole day, trading day of the afternoon session, but I'm not going to do it because I don't want to lose the profits that I made today. So with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. All right, welcome back. I'm going to try to keep you guys up to date on what I'm doing. So right now, I set up 2 copy trades. Right here, I got 5 50K combines for $29 each. I got 1 contract in each, and I'm trading 5 contracts at a time. Right now, I did a couple trades. I lost 80 and up 120. And then I have 3 150K combines that I'm going to copy trade. And right now, let's see, I'm going to show you, I got 5 contracts in all of those that I'm going to trade. So I got to update that. I'm up $153 right now from doing early trades during pre-market. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just showing you the balance on all the combines before we roll into market open. So right now I'm showing you my charting session real quick of what I'm looking at for NASDAQ for the morning, and there's a huge trend that we seem to bounce off. I have another intermediate level that I have in turquoise, and then my green supporting levels. And these are on the 30-minute. And then I got the pre-market high up above, and I got the pre-market low. I end up moving that around. We have the all-time high still. I'm watching that trend line. Right now I'm readjusting where pre-market high and pre-market low is located, so I have a ballpark if we're able to break through that or if we're going to hit that and get rejected on either of those zones, right? The pre-market low, we could reject off that and go higher. If we don't break above the pre-market high, we're going to reject off that and go lower. So during the Globex session, this is what I recommend doing before the market opens, because the way the market has behaved during the Globex session is going to be different than what happens in the market open. One of those levels are going to get tested. My 4-hour inefficiency zone, the market consolidated in that this morning, I think around 3 to 6 in the morning. I see another level here for in case we start dropping. I think I put that in turquoise, and I end up labeling some of these. Because I found that level in the 30-minute, we'll label that the 30 minutes. It gives me an idea. I know that's the daily level from Friday or Thursday, and then 4-hour levels from the previous session. So now I'm moving over here. I'm watching the Mag 7, Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, and now we're going to go ahead and chart the ES real quick. All right, so we got a huge trend on the ES. I took the consolidated box and moved it down from the previous trading session. Right here I'm trying to show you where I got it, and I think it was right above that green line right there, around that area. But I just brought it and resized it and brought it down to this morning's pre-market session, and as you can see, that blue dotted line matches the level to the left on a further time frame. Went ahead and switched to a 30-minute. I wanted to trade off the 30-minute, so I wanted to put some levels down, make sure my levels align with the 30-minute, which they should, because I got those levels from a higher time frame. See some buyers at that location. I put an intermediate level on the 30-minute, and then I labeled it so I know that that thin level is the 30-minute. And I do that so as the price moves fast, I could gauge on where it's going to reverse from or bounce from. That inefficiency zone was valid, so I left it. I don't think it got revisited, so I went to the 4-hour because I wanted to find some inefficiency zones. So now I'm just following the chart to the current time frame, and then I'll see which areas of inefficiencies that have already been visited and which ones have not. So the one above has been visited, this one has not, so it's around the same intermediate level that I found on the 30-minute, so I think that inefficiency zone is valid. Coincides with the 30-minute bottom level. I believe it's going to be revisited again, and then I found another one next to another higher time frame level, so that inefficiency area. Now I'm not worried about any other inefficiencies below those two levels. I think those are just the nearest levels that will get visited again. We're looking at a double bottom, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. And I put it into the frame so I could see where it's going to touch if it does go down. And I kept the chart on the 30-minute during my trading session. Back to my trading view, and it is 9:09, and I think I just observed the market for a while until I see a trade. So we broke down through that inefficiency zone, and we're hitting that trend line. So what I'm doing is I'm just watching the pre-market to see how much we're going to drop from that trend line. Because right now you could do one or two things. You could go into a long position with the stop below that green line, or where the pre-market low is. If it gets rejected off the pre-market low, it's possible that it's going to bounce back up. So you got the trend line and the pre-market low, which are both high probabilities that the market will reverse. So that's the intent. So if it breaks through that, and you could change over to the 5-minute time frame, if you get a candle that closes on the 5-minute candle underneath that trend line, there's a high probability that the price will continue to go down to the next level below. So here we are. The NASDAQ did break past that trend line, and I got the 5-minute chart on the left on Trade-Evate. I'm setting my executions on the 5-minute time frame, and then I'm observing the 30-minute on my trading view. So as we get closer to market open, my thesis is that that the market, specifically the NASDAQ, and probably the ES, because I'm watching the ES on the 30-minute, that it's going to reverse and pop to the upside at market open. So that's what I'm waiting for. So it came down to a hard level. We broke hard down. We're about 2.5 minutes out, 2 minutes out from market open. So this is where the order books get cleared out. There's usually a hard movement, about 5 to 10 points, whatever direction the market has been going, which is good that we got this drop, because it's just clearing stops, and there's very low liquidity at this point. So this drop is a good indication, because if it reverses strong, then I'm going to go in for a long. All right, so 5 seconds out, and you could see price is moving and jumping. So right about this point, I kind of have an idea that it's going to go up. I'm going 5 contracts. So I'm in. I put my stop in. I move my stop ups. After that big move, I just moved my stop huge just to capture whatever profits. So we're fighting between 1,000 and 900. We finally break the 1,000. And you know what? If I went in at this level and kept that position, I would have hit my max profit for the day. But because I'm afraid of a pullback down, I went ahead and moved my stop. I ended up getting stopped out. Made like 21.37 on this trade times 3 combines. So at this point, 21.72, and that's across 3 combines. And that was one trade, one entry. I just got lucky. I had an idea on what the market was going to do, and I just went ahead and entered, and that just worked out in my favor. So probabilities, right? Reversal from the pre-market low at a 2-hour level, I believe, and then at market open, I was watching the candlestick and the order book, and then we popped up. So that was a good trade. So then after that trade, I went ahead and I sent my levels on my Discord, and I went ahead and changed to the 50K accounts. So 50K combines, I've been entering for the remainder of the trading session using the 50K combines. I'm trading 5 of them at one time, and I'm trading 1 contract each. So I tried to nail some scalps. I was up 200, I was down to like negative 150, and I ended up closing the day with 304. And then during the editing session around noon, I went in for another position, and I closed out a trade with $57 or $55. So I ended up closing the day across 50K combines, $357 in each account. And I'll try to splice up some trades so you guys can see my entries, and I'll explain what I was looking at. I got stopped out and it pulled back down to this other level right here, and it shot back up. I should have entered. Because those long positions I was getting into at the top of that box ended up, it just started climbing from here on out. So I should have been more patient. I should have waited for a nice pullback, and I shouldn't have moved my stops. But as you will see, buyers came in and pushed this up. Nvidia climbed up to 1150, and the NASDAQ went up with it. All right, so the NASDAQ entered the inefficiency zone, and I replicated the inefficiency zone in this consolidated box, this consolidation box that I had this morning. I had it on my TradeAvate account, so that's the blue box. So we're gutting up to the 50% area, and at this point in my mind, I have the EMA and the VWAP on the 30-minute. So there's a possibility that we could reject at the top of that yellow box on the TradingView chart where the VWAP's at in white, that white line. So I'm waiting for a pullback from a rejection from that point. So you'll see me put my pre-order line in, and then I'm just waiting to see how the price is going to behave at that top at that resistance level. And it's apparent from this morning, so we're going to have to break up through that. Once we break up through that, I had this thesis that we're going to test the pre-market high, and we ended up testing the pre-market high. Not until later though. On this trade, we rejected hard off that 50% area on the consolidated inefficiency zone and the consolidation box on the TradeAvate. So once we rejected hard and I saw the red candle starting to form, I went ahead and entered a short position and scalped a total of $109 on that trade. It wasn't a total of 109, but it was enough to get my total to 109. So my last trade I entered, and I got stopped out because I moved my stop, and the market just screamed to the VWAP. And you'll see it shoot up right now. So it stopped me, and then buyers came in, and it was either hitting stops, and this thing just moved. This could have been a nice $200 move on one contract, but I missed out. So now I'm waiting for a rejection point from this top. So now I'm at my thesis. The price is at my level, so I ended up shorting. In my first short, I got stopped out. I didn't have my stop up high enough. So I took a, $30 loss, $40 loss times 5, and then I re-entered a short. And I should have had my stop up like 10 points. I ended up moving it just in case, and then I got scared and I moved it back. But I timed this high pretty good because now I'm, there's at a point of $120 in profit. Tight range. So I was initially early in my short bias. I should have, if you looked over on the left, that left kerfuffling over on the left above the blue box, the price rejected at that same level where the yellow line's at, and price rejected. So that would have been an awesome short location, scalping, 10 points. All right, so I have this short bias in this next couple trades. I try to I feel like there's momentum. Once we got back into the consolidated box, I just had this short bias. It's at the top of this range, it's at the pivot point. As long as I keep my stops tight, the risk to reward in these trades to the downside is, I think, it's more rewarding. Now, because I move my stops, I miss out on a bunch of moves. So this last move, I got stopped out and I missed out on this drop. So that's another negative aspect of how I trade. So as it reached this bottom, I think it's continuing to go down, so I shorted. And I'm only doing one contract at a time, and I start losing some later on through the trades. I think I got down to $80 in profit. I had to work my way up from the negatives, so now I think I'm in triple digits at this point, like 100 or 170 dollars profit across 5 accounts. This one I think I stopped myself out on this one because I didn't want to risk any more than $200 on this trade. But I found that scalping $20 to $70 a trade it adds up, right? And I didn't over leverage today, which I normally do when I feel like I need to make more profits faster, which is also a detriment in trading psychology. I've over leveraged so many times and blown up accounts, especially if I was like, for instance, the 350K combines that I did the morning pop with and made $2,100 in each account. Now tomorrow, I'm hoping I minimize my size and I just focus on finding executable areas to strike. Because there will be times where I will over leverage because I think I'm better than the market, which no one is. And I'll just get walloped and I'll blow accounts up. So I'm gonna try to slowly build these accounts. The more I do it, the better it gets. Like, I feel like I'm on the cusp of actually finding my niche in how I read the charts and how I read my levels, and I'm finding which way works for me. Today I didn't have any distractors. I listened to Market Clubhouse before I started trading. I turned that off when I started to trade because I just wanted to focus on what I saw myself instead of getting insight on, outside influences. I did not have Top Step TV on today. I just had music, strictly music, and I just traded. It was just me and the chart and no other distractions. So I hit this short. I think it ended up putting my stop in, but here I am, that short bias. I think it's going to just drop. And it does, and then it popped up later on this afternoon after I stopped trading. And I did a few other trades. I ended up still trading when I saw opportunities. This was a good trade right here. I was trailing my stop manually, just following it down, and then I got stopped out. But that was a good chunk. I was making up profits. I'm negative 15 right now, and I ended up closing the day 363 across 5 accounts. So my total P&L for the combines, which are evaluations to get an XFA, it was 8,115 today. 6,300 on my 150K combines, and around $1,815 on the 50Ks. And if I could maintain $300 to $400 on the 50Ks, even if on the 150K, if I just maintain that balance, it just feels good when you could pull chunks out of the market and then live another day to tell about it, to be honest. We're at the top of the range. I did have a underlining idea that the NQ would retest the pre-market high, but it never reached it. So for tomorrow, this level of resistance, I'm gonna plot that when I do my charting tomorrow morning. As long as I left my stop there, we could have been rewarded huge. But the minute it drops a few up to $40, I move my stop. Hopefully there's enough momentum and selling pressure bringing it down, but I just get stopped out and then it continues to go. I just can't keep my stop above. I just can't. I hold on to my losers too long, which you've seen in previous videos as well. But if I feel better just taking something out than nothing. But I would probably capitalize more on profit if I left my stops where they're at a reasonable level of the trade not playing out in the direction that I expected it to go, because this kept on falling. And if I didn't get stopped out, I could have rode that down. So these are things that I'm paying attention to when I'm trading. Now we're up 204. We were down negative $15, and now we're 204. And it's only 10:40 right now, East Coast time. And see how it just keeps dropping. Stopped me out and kept dropping. So now it reversed. So now it's a couple minutes later. Still have the short bias. And I keep getting rewarded a little bit, little chunks. But if I had held that original position, I could have added to the position. So this is when scaling works, right? So if I kept my stop where the pre-market high button is, when the pre-market level is located on the trading view chart, on the purple line, if I had my stop there, right, and I shorted one contract at the top of those candle wicks, and I kept adding every time it retested and dropped, and I added again when it retested and dropped. I mean, we could have capitalized on a 5-lot position times 5. I mean, that would have been easily another $2,000 times 5, but you can't think like that. Until I get more confidence in scaling in and seeing the retest and being comfortable on where my stops are located, then we could start doing those scaling positions. But you have to get out of the gutter of always losing money when you trade, get used to it and accept it before you could capitalize on the movements of momentum. I think 90% of the time I just get lucky. But I get lucky enough to make me think I could do this as a profession, right? So just showing the profits I made, 301 by the time I edited this video. And for the 150K combines, we made 2172. And that's it. That's the trading session for Monday. I hope you all have a good afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow. How's it going?